Hi everyone, today I'm going to be doing the perfect palette tag 2. I saw Emily Eddington do this recently and I loved her video. As she was going through the questions, I'm like, I totally know what palettes I'd choose. I absolutely love doing tag videos and I can't remember the last time I really did one, and let alone one on eyeshadow. I feel like not a lot of videos on my channel really just like deal with eyeshadow in like one whole video or like recommending palettes, so I thought today would be a great time to do that. So let's go ahead and get started with question number 1. I'm going to be reading them off my phone off of Emily's video, but question number 1 is eyeliner, brush, or nothing included. Now, I was a little bit confused by this question. At first, I wasn't quite sure what it meant, but then it hit me. So, would I like to see an eyeliner, a brush, or just nothing included in the palette when I buy it? I'm not going with eyeliner and I'm not going with a brush. The one thing that I do like seeing included is the little eyeshadow primer samples. Now, I did makeup on people like last year. I did a few weddings and things. I haven't been doing a ton this year, but guys, I get so many uses out of those little tiny little baby travel sizes when I'm like packing up my kit. I also personally use them, and I just find that because I don't wear eyeshadow every single day, I'm not one to go buy like full sizes of primers because I just don't use them all that much. So I get so much use out of those tiny little ones, and I know Lorac includes them with a lot of their palettes, and also Urban Decay. Eyeliners I don't like so much because I love felt tips, and those are never really included with palettes. They're just the standard pencils. And as far as brushes go, I love a good brush, but for me, and I think it's just like a personal preference, brushes have to be spot on for you to love them. Question number 2 is name a palette you have hit pan on. Now, this is one of the questions I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever hit pan on a palette, but as I was going through my room this morning, I found one and I was so proud of myself. This is so old and I can't even tell you guys the last time I used it, and it has cat hair on it, sorry. This is the Kat Von D True Romance eyeshadow palette in Beethoven. I got this back like right when I started liking makeup and I was shopping at Sephora, and the one shade that I have hit pan on, let me show you guys, is the most random shade. It's like a purple, and I hardly ever wear purples. So if I'm looking on the back right, the shade on this is called Sinner. I have no idea if Kat Von D even sells this shade anymore, but from what I can tell, it's just a really nice dark purple, and I think on the hand though, or like in a swatch, it just comes off dark. Like, it's not super purpley, and I think I wore this a ton in my crease. Number 3 is your favorite naked palette, and as soon as I saw this question, I knew which one I would choose because the Naked 2 is my all-time favorite. The cool shades in this are just totally up my alley. I love cool shades on my blue eyes, especially silvers, and this has 2 of the best silvers ever. Pistol and Verve are my all-time favorites in this palette, and I just love wearing them together. I do have them featured in a tutorial if you guys want to check it out. It is so old. I was in my bedroom, don't judge me, but yeah, it's still a look that I love to wear today. I will say it's a little bit frustrating because this palette doesn't have a ton of like transition or like soft crease shades, but if I ever need like a shimmery lid color, this is my palette. Question number 4 is your favorite holiday or limited edition palette, and when I was watching Emily's video, I was thinking, and I'm like, what the heck am I gonna pick? I don't buy a lot of limited edition stuff, until I saw her hold up the Lorac holiday collection. I think in her video she said it was from about 2012, and this little box has so much meaning to me, it's crazy. This is the little box that was sitting on my vanity when Jerome, my boyfriend, got me my very first vanity for Christmas. It was so darn sweet, guys. Like, he set it up in my room. I had no idea this little box was sitting on top, and it's one of those gifts, like the very first one that I've ever gotten, that I've just like cried. I broke down. If you guys haven't seen this, or it's just been a long time and you don't remember, this is the one that has the little candy bars in it. So darn cute, I swear, guys. It has 5 palettes up here consisting of 4 shades each, and then also a creamy lipstick palette. I will just touch on my favorite though, because I just remember loving this Ooh La La vanilla one. It just has some super like traditional browns. It has this amazing highlight, and guys, these shades are so buttery and they have just like the most amazing color payoff. I think I'm gonna have to break this out again. Number 5 is name a palette you would repurchase or wish you had a backup of if it was no longer available. So the one, this is actually gonna count as like 2 questions, you will see this palette again, but the one that I wanted to use for this was the Smashbox Full Exposure palette. I feel like this thing is so underrated because I never hear about it, and I feel like it is one of the best eyeshadow palettes out there if you're like me and you love transition shades and like glittery, shimmery lids. Oh my gosh, this has the best of both worlds. So in here, it's kind of set up similar to like the Lorac Pros, where there's a whole top shimmery row and then a whole row of mattes too. The color payoff on this is incredible, and the reason I chose it for this question was because I've considered getting another one, like for my makeup kit or something, because I just feel like if you do makeup on other people or you just want an everyday palette that you can still create so many looks with, this is your one, guys, I'm telling ya. I'm wearing this palette today. I do have on like this kind of peachy matte shade, these two in the crease, and then this shimmery one foiled on my lid, and guys, it just came out so well. I seriously can't rave about this palette enough. I could keep going on and on, but the quality is amazing, and if you like those super girly sparkly colors too, these are not going to disappoint. Number 6 is name a shade you wish were sold individually, and I know exactly the one, and it is from the CoverGirl Shimmering Sands palette. This highlight in here has been one of my favorite eyeshadows and highlighters for a really long time. Now granted, I kind of feel like I'm not doing the best for this question because this is from the drugstore, and I mean it comes in a palette that's pretty inexpensive, but just to have like more of this shade and like a bigger compact would be awesome. It is just that super bright, almost more white highlighter, and I just love the consistency of this too. I feel like it's a little bit hard to overdo it with this shade, but I like that because I do like more natural makeup, but love that highlight for like the inner corners, the tops of my cheekbones, or even all over the lid. But I almost forgot, I do have one other shade that I wish were sold individually, and funny enough, it's from the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. I used this shade a lot in my Chatty Get Ready With Me video, so if you guys want to see it in action, I'll link that down below, and also right up there too. But the one that I love from this palette is Anaheim. For me and my fair skin, it's just the perfect like natural crease shade. I love that I can apply this super lightly just for a very minimal look, but I can also build it up for more definition. It's in that medium neutral brown family. It's not too cool, it's not too warm, and for me it's just exactly what I want in my crease every single day if I'm doing my eyeshadow. So that's why I wish this was individual, because instead of having to get out this whole palette for that one shade, I think it'd be awesome to even just travel with, like take that Smashbox palette and then take that little shade with me, it'd be perfect. Number 7 is a wild card question, and it says to pick a question from the original tag to answer. Now I went through all 8 of those questions as well, and I decided to share with you guys my least used palette. For me, that would have to be the Lorac unzipped one, and guys, you can probably tell how many times have I said I love cool shades, and this is the complete opposite. I bought this after seeing a lot of people talk about it. I think I've had this for about a year or two now, and I just remember seeing so many different tutorials, and the shades on them were beautiful. Now personally, I just don't think I've played around with this enough to just find the looks that work best for me, but I do think eventually if I do sit down and play with it, it'll work, because I feel like these shades really complement blue, and that's the color of my eyes. And finally, number 8, name a palette you would recommend to a friend, and without a doubt, it has to be that Smashbox one. I know there is a part 2 of this palette, but for some reason I don't feel like the variety is as great in that one than it is in this one, and the variety is seriously why I would recommend this to so many people. Even if you're just starting out or you're a makeup junkie, there is a place for this in your collection, I promise you guys. So if you have not tried Smashbox eyeshadow like I really hadn't until I picked this up, definitely do, and friend to friend, I think you're gonna love it. So that is all for the perfect palette tag part 2, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, please make sure to give it a huge thumbs up and let me know some of your favorite palettes down below. Oh, and really quick before I go, I wanted to mention this top, and I just looked in the mirror and I realized I haven't explained this yet. Yes, that is a curling iron burn and not a hickey. Everybody has been making fun of me, and I'm filming a lot of videos today, so sorry in like the last 2 if I haven't had this, and now I do. You guys are probably so confused. But as I was saying about this shirt, this is from Lorac, and I've been trying out a lot of their stuff, so now that I have you like in this video, I wanted to ask you guys, do you want to see a full review on Lorac, like what it's like? I know I've been seeing a ton about it, and I've been thinking about doing a video, but I really wasn't sure if you guys would be interested, so let me know that down below. But other than that, I think that's all for today, so have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye!